everybody. Welcome to Fresh Adoption Talks with Angie. This week, we are so excited to welcome Michelle Cooper onto our channel. Michelle Cooper is a beautiful young woman from Eldorado Park, and Michelle will be sharing with us a bit of her life story of how she ended up in a children's orphanage, in a children's home, and she'll be sharing some of her journey alongside her brother growing up there up until the point where she turned 21 and when she left the home but ended up living with family who are now like a mom and dad to her. I hope you guys enjoy Michelle's story as she inspires us and other adoptees out there with her beautiful life story and giving so much hope and encouragement to others. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, I am Michelle Cooper and today I will be sharing with you my journey being in an orphanage and what life was like and I suppose life afterwards. So and I was very excited when Auntie Angie asked me to share my journey. I think I'm always excited to share my journey. So today will be very brief, just a little bit about what my life was like. So my life took a turn when my parents passed away, really. When my dad died, 3 months later, my mom died, and we lived with my grandmother and, aunts and uncles, but life wasn't always great there. So God saw it fit. I always say God saw it fit to place my brother and myself in an orphanage, which was like a blessing in my life. I am where I am today, firstly because of God, and secondly because of that opportunity, and also the family support that I got. I was in primary school. It was 2010, I believe, the beginning of January when schools had just started. I think it was our first day back at school, and we got called into the principal's office like, hey, with my social workers, and like, hey, we're placing you and your brother in an orphanage. How do you feel? And I was like, no, I'm okay with that. So we got placed. Received a very, very warm welcome when we got to the orphanage. The social workers, the children, the caregivers, everyone really just welcomed us with warm arms. And I remember the first day, like now moving in, packing my clothes into my cupboard, like, you have your own space, and just being very excited that there was hot water and a bath that you could take, and I got my own bed, my own bedding, and it was just very, very nice and very different to what I had imagined. Initially, I thought that orphanages were more like, how can I say, dorm rooms where everyone sleeps on a bunk bed and everyone eats in like a hall. But this was very different. We had like our own house with a set of children and a caregiver. So that was the very nice part about it. We traveled out to go to school. Education was the priority. We didn't really have responsibilities. All we had to do was really learn and pass well. That was the main responsibility. But you do your dishes as you grow up. You do dishes, you learn how to cook, basic life skills that you need. And not only for the ladies, the women or the young girls, but the boys as well. So yeah, I lived, me and my brother, we lived in the orphanage from 2010 up until 2018. I finished in 2018. I was 21 years old when I finished, and when I got to the orphanage, I was turning 13 years old. So it's about a good 8, 9 years, almost 10 years if I'm not mistaken. So I've learned a lot living there. I never felt like an outsider. I never felt like I was stripped or anything, or I was forced to live there. I never felt, for me, that was a blessing. So I learned a lot. Um, and I just think that that is what helped shaped me to be the person that I am today. I was never disrespectful. I always listened, whether it was my way or not. I always listened. All the life skills that they've taught me, I've applied in. I still apply until today in my life. You know, I can just look back and I can just thank God for taking me out from where He did and placing me into the setting that He did. It's a blessing. I would not have been this person if I had continued living. I know for a fact if I had continued living with my grandmother and them. So, like I said, I never ever felt out of place, and we traveled with the orphanage. Like, we really traveled. We've we've seen places. We've gone to idols, for example, stuff that when I was younger I never thought I would have gone to. So watch an idol show, and to someone that might be so insignificant, but like, to me it means so much. I was like, oh, I'm going to see an idol show, we've gone on vacations and we've gone on trips and we've seen people and we've met amazing people. So we've really experienced more than what I think, especially in our community, more than what the average child or the usual child will experience in our community. So, okay, fast forward to my matric. I think that was very tough. So I failed my matric, and I failed it like 3 times. So I failed my matric, and that was very hard. But one thing that I can say is that God really answered my prayers. Because there was a time where I was questioning Him. Very wrong of me, but there was a time where I was questioning Him, like, why are other children being adopted or taken back to their families, and why aren't me and my brother having that same experience? And God sent my aunt, who I take as my mother, so I call her my mother, and He sent her and my uncle my way, my mom and my dad. So I'll say my mom and my dad. So He sent them our way, and honestly, a blessing. Like, I've never gotten that motherly love like I do from her. I haven't experienced. It was very nice to get back into a family setting, and not only a family setting, but the support that they've shown me in my life. And I think I really saw it when I failed my matric, that okay, no, God has really blessed me with amazing people in my life. And that was because when I failed my matric, I honestly felt like a failure. I felt like I had disappointed them. I had disappointed everyone in my life, because I would have thought everyone was expecting me to pass, which is normal, right? And honestly, my parents, my family, and my boyfriend as well, who is now my fiance, all of them, everyone just showed me immense support. Like, I I was feeling like a failure, but they never made me feel like that. They always encouraged me to try again until I eventually passed my matric and I went on to study. And when I passed my matric, I was 21 years old, and it was time for me to leave the orphanage. So my mom said they opened up their home for me to come and live there. And I went off to study. An amazing man paid for my studies, and I didn't have to worry about any payments or anything. My one job was to literally just pass. Um, and in that time, my mother also was very supportive, very encouraging, and I think I was the one that was very hard on myself. Like, I didn't want to fail, so there was once where I got like 5 distinctions, and I got one subject that was like 65, and I'd be so pissed off because I didn't want to disappoint them at all. So yeah, I really am blessed because I ended up passing my studies very well, firstly. And mind you, this was during COVID. So when I started my second year of studying, COVID hit. Very tough transition for all of us. But like I say, my parents remained supportive. I had a very, very good support structure. I would come and I'd ask my mom, like, oh, hey, I don't understand this, or explain to my mother what's happening. And she wouldn't understand because obviously this is Greek to her. It's a very different industry, which is media studies. So I ended up specializing in journalism, and I ended up finishing my three-year course. In the 3 years, I didn't fail anything that made me like extend my studies by another year or another 6 months or anything. So I passed really well. And last year, July, that's when I graduated as a journalist. So I am a qualified journalist. So yeah, I ended up working, actually volunteering for our community newspaper, which is Eldorado Park, and I worked there a couple, like I think more than 2 months or so, and then I got an internship, and that's where I've been. And God is really just showing off with me. He's really just taking me to new heights, if I can put it that way. So if I can sum up to you what my journey has been like, it started off very rough and very difficult, and I got to the point of like, Lord, why can I not just have a break? Why can I not just be happy? Why can I not have a normal life, I suppose? Why can I not just have an experience where it's not tough, where it's not hard, where I don't have to fight for anything, where nothing comes that difficult to me, right? And I then had to realize that if I had not gone through any of that, living in the orphanage, not having my parents, but being blessed with an amazing family structure and being blessed with my parents now, it was really a second chance at life for me. I don't think I can ever look back and say I regret anything, or I regret anything that has happened to me, because I know that there was a reason for it. And I think it's because I can sit now and I can talk to you and I can tell you that whatever circumstance you are in, whatever trial and tribulation is being thrown at you, there is a greater purpose. There is a greater purpose for your life. There is a greater purpose for you to encourage the next person. There's like nothing, I believe nothing just happens because it just happens. Everything is ordained to happen at that specific time, at that specific moment, to that specific person. So I can honestly say that my journey was really tough. And I mean, I'm sharing, and maybe next time on Auntie Angie's show, I'll come in and share a little bit more, because I'm just sharing like the surface, like I'm basically giving you a teaser. But my life was very tough, and I can't, that's part of where I come from. It's not who I am, it's part of where I come from. So, and it's turning out so beautifully. Like God is just showing off. So it shows you that honestly there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is no situation that will last forever. When you are in a dark space, you won't be there forever. It might take you a very long time to get out, but you will get out. That I can promise you, because I know that we serve a God that molds you, and when you are ready, He literally places you where you need to be. So yeah, now I'm finding, bits and pieces of myself. I'm very, just to give you a little bit of a hint of who I am, but not who I am, but what I like is that excuse me, I found this love for art. Like, I just love doing everything, like anything artsy. I recently started, like literally a day or two from making this video, I have started sewing. I am very artistic. I just love experiencing new things. I don't like being stuck on knowing only how to do one thing. So I love painting. Also a new, I want to say hobby, a new hobby that I have picked up. It's painting. It's so relaxing. But that's just who I am. I'm a very bubbly person, but I can also be very quiet. I can mingle. I'm friendly. I can literally do all things that I set my mind to, and that is not a lie. And I don't give up very easily. I think if there's anything that I've learned in this life, is to never give up. So that's just who I am. If I can encourage someone, I will say to you, there is light at the end of the tunnel. My favorite verse that I absolutely love, and that has been carrying me through, is be still and know that I am God. And I think sometimes when there's so much noise around us, when everyone is living their own lives and living across you, over you, I think in everything, in every situation, in every trial and tribulation, you just need to be still and allow God to do what He needs to do, and then allow Him to place you where you need to be, because He's the only person. And I'd really like to just firstly thank Auntie Angie for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit. I know it was very brief, but hopefully we can have a part 2 where we go into a little bit of detail. And I would also like to thank my parents for all their support, and also I'd like to thank my grandparents for their support, and my family, as well as my fiance for his support. He's been a blessing in my life as well. And yeah, last words of encouragement to the child that will be watching this is dream big, and then do everything in your power to achieve that dream, no matter what it is. Don't let anybody tell you that you are not worth it. Don't let anybody make you feel that you are not worth it and that you don't belong in this world. Whether you are an adopted child, or you are an orphaned child, you are a child living on the street, know that you are worthy of everything that's beautiful in this world. Have a good day, guys.
Wow, what an inspirational story, filled with so much love, appreciation, humbleness, and a lot of emotions that was picked up during her videos. But Michelle is such a strong and brave woman that she's able to share her story without shedding a tear. Michelle, thank you so much, and we are so excited to have you back on the channel to share more about your life's journey. So I'm looking forward to an interview with Angie, where Michelle will be joining me for a cup of coffee, where we will be chatting and she'll be sharing more about her life story and her journey. Everybody, I hope that you guys were inspired by her story. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I wish you all an awesome weekend. And remember, adoptees, the message that Michelle gave at the end, that is exactly what you guys are. Hold on to that. Hold on to hopes, dreams, and bigger dreams. Next time, everybody, where we chat again in our next video on Fresh Adoption Talks with Angie. Wish you all an awesome weekend, and adoptees, remember, you are loved, you are chosen, you are on this earth for a greater purpose. Goodbye, everybody.